Hi, it's Steve. In this video, we'll show you how to replace a shelf in your French door refrigerator. It's a really easy repair. Let me show you how we do it. Now, if we're changing just a single shelf in your refrigerator, you simply need to lift up the old one, remove it, and replace it with your new one. However, if you're changing the shelf that has the crispers on it, you'll need to first of all remove all of the items on the shelf and all of the items that are in the crispers, and then we'll remove those. Pull the crispers all the way forward, lift up on the front, and then pull them out and set them aside. Then we'll lift up on the front of that shelf, pull it all the way forward. Once the two catches on the back are in that open area, you can simply tilt it sideways. We'll pull that out, and now we'll set it on a suitable work surface, and we can change out these tracks. Now, with the shelf placed face down on a protected surface, we'll need to remove these individual tracks. So we'll need a flat blade screwdriver. Now for the center one, you'll note that both front and rear have a little peg that protrudes through a little square opening. So we're simply going to depress that peg just enough while pulling sideways on that track that it will fit underneath the lip on the edge of the shelf. Do the same front and rear. And then evenly pull that track towards the center and the opening that is built into that edge of the shelf. And you can safely remove it without damaging the two tabs on that track. We're just going to set that aside. Now, with the tracks that are located on the edge of the shelf, again, we'll use a flat blade screwdriver. We've picked one a little bit wider. You'll note that there are 3 slotted openings on the edge of that shelf, and there are 3 corresponding tabs that are attached to that actual track. So we're simply going to depress that tab while pulling away from the edge of the shelf. Do each one individually. Then lift that track away from the shelf and set it aside. We'll do the same for the opposite side. You can now discard the old shelf to reinstall those individual tracks. Simply line up the 3 tabs that have the openings in them. Line them up with the slots on the edge of that shelf and simply press them into place. Now, when installing that center one, we want to make sure that we have it lined up properly. You'll note on the end there is a raised tab on one side that has an open end on it, and that's the end that we're going to slide into that opening. So we suggest that you position it evenly end to end, tilt it slightly so that those tabs will go in underneath the edge of the shelf. Tilt it down flat, and then press it evenly end to end until those tabs pop up into the openings. And now we're ready to take that shelf and put it back in the refrigerator. So we'll open up the refrigerator doors, angle that shelf into the opening, fit those rear hooks down into that opening on the liner. Push it back far enough that the hooks capture the raised portion on that liner at the back. Slide it into place. We can then reinstall the crispers. Make sure they're pushed back all the way. You can then close the refrigerator up, and your repair is complete.